Hello, my name is Hyunsuk and my student number is 32194417. And today I'm going to talk about coronavirus disease. First, we have to know the basics about coronavirus disease. Coronavirus disease 2019, also known as COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. The disease was first identified in December 2019 in Wuhan, the capital of China's Hubei province, and has since spread globally, resulting in the ongoing 2019-20 coronavirus pandemic. And at May 3rd of 2020, more than 3.5 million cases have been reported across 187 countries and territories, resulting in more than 247,000 deaths. Now we have known the basics about coronavirus disease. We have to know the signs and symptoms of coronavirus disease. First, the most common symptom is fever. Although some people do not develop fever even though they have coronavirus disease, if someone has fever, you can expect that he or she has coronavirus disease. Other most common symptoms are cough, loss of appetite, fatigue, shortness of breath, nausea, and vomiting. Less common symptoms include runny nose, sneezing, and sore throat. Some cases in China presented only chest tightness, and palpitations. We can know from here that even though someone do not have the most common coronavirus symptoms, he or she could be infected to coronavirus disease. In Korea, 30% of confirmed cases show less of smell. Also, like other infections, there is a delay between the moment a person is first infected and the time he or she develops symptoms. This is called the incubation period. The incubation period for COVID-19 is typically 5 to 6 days, but may range from 2 to 14 days. Although 97.5% of people who develop symptoms will do so within 11.5 days of infection. Now we have known the symptoms and basics of coronavirus disease, we have to know the transmissions of COVID-19. COVID-19, known as coronavirus disease, usually spread during close contact, usually by small droplets of saliva produced during coughing, sneezing, or talking. This is why we have to use a mask to prevent our small droplets of saliva from spreading to other people. Also, we have to take our distance from each other at least 1.8 meters, because small droplets of saliva will drop to the floor when they travel more than 1.8 meters. But you can still be infected to coronavirus disease even though we take our distance 1.8 meters, because if the virus falls on floors, still plastic, it could still survive for a few hours and infect people for a few hours. So, for example, if a person with coronavirus sneezes and the saliva with the coronavirus landed on the table, and if someone else touches the table with their hands and touches their ear or mouth or eyes or nose with their hands, the people who touched it will be infected to coronavirus. And coronavirus is most contagious during the first 3 days after the onset. Although it could be infectious in the other days, such as the day before or after 5 days after the symptoms, it is most contagious during the first 3 days. Now we have to look at the case of Korea in coronavirus disease. At January 20, the first people to be infected was found in Korea. And before Shincheonji mass infection, 32 people was found to be infected in Korea. But patient number 32 went to Sincheonji and spread the coronavirus. So after the Sincheonji mass infection, it went up to 8,000 people. And now it is up to 10,000 people. But now the speed of the infection slowed down. So these days, only 13 people was found to be infected in Korea. And among those 13 people, only 2 people was infected in Korea. 11 people was infected abroad and came to Korea. Now we have known the effects, now we have known the cause and symptoms and basics about coronavirus. So we have to know the effects of coronavirus on our body. The coronavirus disease may progress to pneumonia, multi-organ failure, and finally death. Lungs are the most likely to be damaged by coronavirus disease because of the enzyme ACE2. Coronavirus uses the enzyme ACE2 to access to host cells. They need it to infect cells. So if there is a lot of ACE2 enzyme, there will be a lot of coronavirus too. Because lungs has a lot of ACE2 enzyme, a lot of coronavirus will be there too. And if a lot of coronavirus is in lungs, a lot of lung cells will die. And if a lot of lung cells die, it will cause a major problem to the lungs and may cause pneumonia. Coronavirus is also known to cause acute myocardial injury and chronic damage to the cardiovascular system and could cause heart failure, blood loss, and heart inflammation. Coronavirus is also known to cause anti-cytokine storm. Cytokine is a substance to kill infected cells. It is useful when it is released as normal amount, but if it is released over normal standards, it could kill normal cells too. And if it kills a lot of normal cells, the cells that the organ has will be in problem. So an organ failure will happen. If it gets worse, people will die because of the organ failure. Now we have to know how to detect COVID-19 because we have to know who is infected and not. So we have to, and then we can make sure the one who got infected will not infect other people. The first way to detect COVID-19 is through RT-PCR. It stands for real-time reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. But normal PCR can only multiply DNAs. It could not multiply RNAs. And coronavirus is RNA virus, and that means it has RNAs. So we have to change RNAs to DNAs to polymerase chain reaction it. So this is where the reverse transcription comes in. Through reverse transcription, we can change RNAs to DNAs. So that means that with our RT-PCR, we can multiply RNAs. The second way to detect COVID-19 is through blood tests. But in case of blood tests, we need 2 kinds of bloods. One taken 2 weeks before and one taken 2 weeks after. So it is very hard to detect COVID-19 and hard to get the bloods with 2 weeks. The third way of detecting COVID-19 is through antibody tests. But antibody tests of coronavirus is now in development, so we could not use it. Now we have to know how to prevent COVID-19. First, we have to stay at home, avoid crowded places, and keep distance from others. And these are called social distance. And we have to wash our hands with soap with more than 30 seconds. Second, we have to use a mask when interacting with others. Because coronavirus usually spread during small droplets of saliva, we have to use a mask to stop our saliva from spreading to other people's and stop other people's saliva from getting to us. Third, we have to stay at home for 2 weeks when we come back from other countries, such as America or Europe countries. This is important because the coronavirus's incubation period is about 2 weeks. We do not know if we have coronavirus for 2 weeks because the symptoms will not appear. So we have to stay at home and not meet other people for 2 weeks. Thank you for listening to my coronavirus disease presentation.